So having you beaten the league leaders 6-0 today, is that the complete performance from Harrogate Town?
I think it was a really good performance, and it'll make for a good weekend. Solihull are a good team. They're up there for a reason. They've been, before this game, 10 points accumulated more than us. So we wanted to prove a point that we can hopefully bridge the gap in the upcoming games. But as a one-off game, it was a big challenge for us. They murdered us here 4-0 last year. So we're trying to prove a point that we've come on a long way. And I thought every man played so well today and did the club proud.
Was it the best performance by Harrogate Town team that you've seen since you've been at the club?
It's got to be up there. We had a similar game plan a few years ago on a heavy pitch here against Brackley, and they'd won 9 and drawn 1, and we beat them at 6-1, and that was a great feeling. But this is definitely up there. I think this is probably even more quality on show today. In the second half, every time we went forward, we showed composure, but that desire just to be ruthless, and in both areas we were good. So yeah, it was a complete performance. But we don't get ahead of ourselves. We want to keep level-headed and just know that it was hard work that got us the win today.
Now, Warren Burrell comes in to the midfield, and on his debut 2 goals. Is that why you brought him to the club, that goal-scoring edge?
Well, we know he's capable of that because he's got good feet and he's got that legs to get in the box. But yeah, we've probably had an absence of getting into the box as a midfielder since Gazza's been unavailable. So let's hope Gazza can come back flying, after that Matlock loan as well, to add even more potency to the midfield. But Lloyd, Kerry and Warren had that licence to break forward and play on the front foot, win the first, second ball, and then get in the box. And they did it ever so well, and it was a joy to watch.
Up front, Paul Clayton was on his own, but some would say he looked like 2 strikers himself today. What would you say of his performance?
Well, he played like a man possessed. He was physical, he was strong, got hold of it. There's nothing fancy about his game. I didn't want any of that. I just wanted it to stick. But he won so much, a high percentage of headers against massive centre halves, and he bought us time so we could get up the pitch, get it wide, get midfield runners in. He was just awesome. So hopefully he can continue in that kind of fashion. It's great. We've lost Jerry Yates back to Rotherham, Dominic Knowles through injury, but he's come into the team refreshed and ready. So it speaks volumes for the strength of the squad.
This result will no doubt send a shockwave through the National League North. Do you think this puts you in? Well, does it show how good a team Harrogate Town are and where you can go this year?
Yeah, we've said all along that we've got good players, we've got great spirit, and we've got ingredients to do really well this season, and that's why we've consistently been up there. But there's the carrot there to do even better than just be in the pack, and we've got to prove it week in, week out, like Solihull have done. To be fair, they're up there, aren't they, and they're above us, and so it makes us hungry for more. When you put on a performance like that in front of the home fans, there's everything all the incentives in the world to keep playing with that kind of attitude and application. So we've got to keep going. We can't get ahead of ourselves. I'll repeat that. But the appetite was undeniable today.
Were you surprised by how quickly Solihull folded in that second half? Obviously, that they've been unbeaten on their travels this season already.
Well, they have a way of playing, and they stuck rigidly to that. 2, 3, 4-0 up, they tried to get it and play from the back, and that's their way. So that's fair enough. Today, I'll be honest. In training, we didn't say pass it from the back unless the fullback has time when we regain it and the keeper gets it. Can we get to a fullback then? But we didn't say get it into the centre backs. We wanted to play in their half and strangle them really, and it worked well today. But they have another way of playing, and you can't fault it because they've done ever so well, haven't they? They've had some fantastic results, and they're still the favourites to win the title. But all we can do is keep working hard and I say try and have a way at that lead and bet ourselves into the playoffs and just keep going.
Yeah, that gap now down to 7 points.
It's still a big gap, and it's all right saying you've got games in hand, but you've got to win them. We showed we can be ruthless today, so it should give us confidence to do the same. But there's no way we can start a game flat in any game now. The only time well, we've been unlucky in some games where we've been right on top, but we don't want to start games flat. We have to start games fast. We have to be more ruthless than we started today, because we were right in the front foot. We didn't take our chances. We certainly did second half, and that's the result of good play and I say good effort.
What will your overriding memory of today be when you're looking back at it at the end of the season, next season and beyond?
The response from the crowd, from not just from the goals but from the effort. People like Lewis Swain's hit someone hard in a 50-50. You got Warren closing people down, little Lloyd Kerry. It's the response it's getting now from the crowd. It reverberates throughout the stadium, and it's momentum that. We've had a couple of weeks from not playing. We didn't want the game off again today because of the forward momentum game at Hensford, but that reaction from the crowd, that's what we'll remember, and that will fire me on to keep going, and hopefully we can keep getting the numbers in and it'll keep building, but one step at a time.